It's now 11:18 p.m. market time on Monday, October 14th. Traded only one ticker today, and that's all I needed. It was SES. SES, as per the plans from the watch list I sent out on Sunday, I said 750s area needs to hold for me to be interested in it long. So as per the watch list, I think it'll pop at the open and quickly dump on profit taken, which is what happened. So pre-market on Monday, it started squeezing after 9 o'clock, and from 9 to 9:30, it went to a high of 1060s, and that's where it popped at the open to. It popped to the pre-market highs, and that's when it dumped on profit taking, because everyone who's long from Friday wants to get out. Like if you're up $5 a share, you will probably get out, right? But at the same time, there's also tons of shorts holding from overnight from Friday, and also tons of shorts were shorting pre-market on Monday. So what are they going to do? Where is the first chance for them to get out? When dumped over here, 780s. And I got a lot of questions from people asking me why I'm watching 760s, 780s, this area from the watch list. And it's really simple. It's after hours low. There's a support right here, and then there's another one here. It's not like I have a crystal ball or anything. It's just support and resistance, and there's there's support here, 780s, and there's more down here. So right here, I had a pretty big here around 780s, but really if it dips to 750s, that's why I want to add more. So this is a scale, and then this is adding a lot bigger, and then when it worked right away, that's why I scaled out small size. Because what I was thinking was that this is not going to reclaim VWAP and squeeze right away. I thought it's going to consolidate slowly and grind up and reclaim above VWAP and consolidate above it for me to be interested in getting even bigger. So I didn't expect it to work like almost right away after 10 minutes. When it squeezed, I wasn't long here. I was not long. I wish I can say, oh, I was smart enough to hold from $7 all the way to there. No. I took all of it here because I want to see how it's trading above the $8 mark. I want to see it consolidate and break above VWAP for me to get interested in longing again. So I missed all of this, okay? I was not in long, I was not in short. Like in many of my gap up videos where I'm long biased, I'm always more interested in getting bigger long after it can break pre-market highs, because that's when it proves that all the selling pressure has been cleared, right? All the sellers that have wanted to sold, they would have sold here, they would have sold here, and it's fresh buyers coming in to be able to squeeze the stock above pre-market highs. So it's the similar mindset as here, right? I want to long the first major dip after it breaks pre-market highs, because guess what? Tons of shorts will pile down around here, I bet you, because they think it's going to be a triple top, right? So the first chance they have to cover is right here and right here on these 2 points of aggressive selling. I missed my order here, but I got long here. I sold the majority here, and I was waiting. Because on the daily chart, there's a lot more room to run after $12 breaks. See right here? After this area breaks, the next resistance is $17. And after 17 breaks, the next one is 23. It's just from the daily chart. There's no magical formula or anything that can predict the price levels. It's just by trading along with the daily chart. I sold the majority here and I sold the rest here. So from 1170s to 1380s. That's pretty nice. I was basically up $2 and I sold everything here. Here is where I caught myself trying to overtrade, because I caught myself, you know what, it's Thanksgiving in Canada here. I had a really good day. There's no need to try to push any more buttons or try to catch everything. But, there's no way anyone could have said that they knew this was gonna squeeze to 25. I didn't know that. The daily charts show that it could. And yes, it's a 1.1 million shares float. It could. But come on, I didn't know. I didn't know this. I just knew I made my money and I should walk. Alright, gonna do a really quick one today because I'm running late. I'm supposed to be watching the Joker today. First, it's Tuesday today. The first one that popped out this morning was from the news of Roku launching their program with Apple TV. Obviously, that's bullish. Roku was trading at 122 pre-market. If you see on the daily chart, it has room to run to 120. 128, and after that it has room to go to 134. So that's what I saw pre-market. Did I catch everything? No, I did not, but I got the meat of the move. Got in pre-market, sold a little bit, and waited at the open. I wanted more dips to pre-market lows to get in to add even bigger. I didn't get it. I see that it's holding really strong above the VWAP. So I was like, okay, you know what? I just gotta take an entry here. Adding on the dips, I was really happy with this entry, and I was ready to add even more if it dips to the 123 pre-market and opening range area. But I never got there because, again, good news, fundamentally strong, and technically aligns with the fundamental good news. So it's all really clear in hindsight, but there's been so many times when Roku just runs all day long due to the same exact fundamental and technical setup. Right? You want both of these things to align. So I got in on the dips, sold on the pops, and this area is where it started getting a little bit toppy. And then I sold most here, I added back, and I was trying to see if it can break 128. Remember 128 daily support, previous support becomes resistance. So I was trying to see if it can break, push through the 128 really fast, but it took a while, so I got really nervous. So I set a stop. Maybe in hindsight, the stop was a little bit too tight because, you know, Roku just kind of took my stop, dipped back down a little bit, just above my entry, and took off to 133 without me. Did I catch everything? No, but I was still really happy with this trade. Next one is WWR, yes. So this one, I was lucky. You can see I was trying to short this pre-market. That would have been a train wreck. So pre-market, WWR is one of those names I remember dumping, just diluting in the past before. I know it's a low float with 1.5 million shares. Yeah, 1.5 million shares float, 6.5 million market cap. They had some news about receiving a shipment of graphite. Okay, in normal small cap market that we've had in the last few months, that kind of news wouldn't have pushed the stock this much. But it's coming off from the sentiment, from the buyer sentiment from yesterday with SES. Remember yesterday when it pushed from $8 to 25? It's coming off of that sentiment, right? So today it was super bullish. It was super strong pre-market. I started shorting, and I shorted. I was thinking that this is it. This is a top. Nope. I was like, oh my God, I just need to cover because this thing squeezed all the way up here. So I covered, took the loss. It was a sizable loss, sure, but the opportunity presented itself later on to go long instead. So I was watching this pre-market. I was waiting for a long to dip down to the pre-market support around 640s. Never got there. I just saw how fast and how strong this dipped and quickly just whipped out and just squeezed everyone out. So I got in long here. I was trying to get in like in the middle of here, couldn't get filled. So this is chase size. So I got long, sold at a $9, $9 psychological area. Sold the majority here. And something very strange happened around this $9 area. If you were watching the tape, it squeezed to $9 really fast, just like a normal small cap low float breakout. But the moment it hit around $9, right on the mark, someone just slammed it back down really quick. This kind of action when it dumped from $9 all the way down to $5 with a span of like 20 minutes, this is some big seller dumping. This is not retail. In the morning, I noticed that when I was shorting, this was easy to borrow everywhere. The cost wasn't that expensive. I think it was like 10 cents a share. And it was easy to borrow in all the retail brokers. So that should have been a sign for me that, hey, like they want to squeeze this, right? They make the shares, the short shares, really easy to borrow to get all the retails trapped in short and to trigger this kind of major squeeze up to $9 for whoever wants to sell their, 900,000 shares to dump. Why people want to have multiple brokers? I have multiple brokers. I check their shares availability in every single one. So yeah, it's definitely something that I need to be more cognizant of. Just because they're shares to short doesn't mean it's a good short. RKDA. So when I see the sector sympathy leaders like BIMI and SES die, so on this day I wanted to short. So I missed the entry here at $6. I was trying to look for that round number $6 whole dollar mark to short. Didn't get it. So missed that entry and I wanted to get in on the pops to VWAP. Shorted here and I covered some here. I was looking forward to break below previous day's lows and to potentially go to 530s and potentially $5. And I started seeing bids stacking up around this time, and I was like, oh crap, I just gotta take everything and exit the whole trade. And I ran out of shorts, so I missed all the downside here. So I only caught a small win over here with RKDA. Another one, this one was actually I lost like a cent a share because I was shorting here. In hindsight, I'm so glad I didn't. But I started shorting, and then I checked on BNGO. Oh crap, the reason it's up because there's a conference call. When there's a conference call, you never short into it. So coming into that, I was leaning in short on SES, WWR, and also PSDV from yesterday. So I located a bunch of shares for all of these, and I only got to use like 1/8 of them. For PSTV, I never got an entry. It needs to pop to 170s or 175 for me to go short. So I never use any of my shares for PSTV. SES, the thinking was that yesterday we had such a violent sell-off. I was thinking that today all the complacent shorts will start to cover once it starts to base around the $9 area, and buyers will start coming in again and rebound the stock. But it was just so weak pre-market, and it never even popped up to a high of 950s that I was looking to scale in short. So this is a chase, because I was thinking, oh, it's gonna spike higher. I was waiting up here and then add at 990s and $10. No, I didn't get filled any of it here. So I had to short chase size 1/8. When I'm chasing, I'm really conservative with my covers. Covered some, cover some. That's red arrows for shorting, so that's the entry, and these are the covers. The green arrows are for covers. So it was really frustrating, and when it started to retest, and I still couldn't get filled because both SES and WWR, which I was also shorting, both are on SSR, and when stock is on SSR, it's really hard to get short because you can only short on the uptick. You can only short on the way up, and when it actually starts to fail and like sell off, it's really hard to get filled because you cannot slam the bid. So that's the frustrating part when shorting these stocks on SSR. So like I would have needed to short on the way up, but I'm not really comfortable doing that. I like to confirm and see some weakness on the tape before I go in short. But that's what happens. You only get partial fill if you do that. So that's something I need to work on personally. So I never got the fill here, and I didn't want to chase because I already chased here. And then when I see when this $8 fails, I see a lot of blood, a lot of like in The Shining when the red flooded out from the elevators. That's what it was like on the level 2 when you see tons of red prints just going through, all the stop losses getting hit after it breaks $8. And that's when I chased again with 1/8 size. When I'm chasing, I need to be conservative with my covers. So with these 2 entries, I was I have like almost all out here, and I was maybe it'll flush down to 660s, and it didn't really. Like it held $7, but so I covered everything here. It's a win with the executions, but it's a loss with all the locates, because the locate on trade 0 for the stock was 12 cents a share. So every 1,000 shares, that's $120. That's expensive, and I only got to use 1/8 size as a whole. So pretty frustrating, and it's the same idea with WWR. I got filled so little here because I feel like this didn't go high enough. This one gapped down overnight, okay? Like it closed at 480s and gapped down to $4. So if I was to short, I have to anticipate a pop of 80 cents, and I wasn't that comfortable with that, so that's why I only use very small size here and then covered here and then covered the rest when you see a retest. I was thinking, okay, it's finally gonna pop to 480s. Nope. Didn't pop that high. All right, we're gonna start with the loser on the day, the one loss. It was kind of stupid. You can see, so CTRM pre-market released some news about an acquisition deal, and I know this one is a really low float stock. It's like 800,000 shares float. So that's why I got long pre-market as per the news, and then kind of just dumped after the pop at pre-market. The only good thing is it was only like a really, really small size, because first of all, pre-market, and I know I was chasing. So whenever I'm chasing, I just chase size. The real long, of course, in hindsight, was here when the news first released. I hesitated a little bit. I thought I was getting in on a dip. Nope, $4 just failed. And when it failed, I had to get out. So this one was also a pre-market play. Pre-market, you can see the stock gapped up overnight to a high of 560s pre-market, and then kind of just started selling off. It's only until 8 o'clock market time in the morning that started basing around here. And what I'm interested is also the pre-market, this level right here, really it's 550s level. There's also a lot of support from here. So this 350s level is what I was watching, and I want to see it start holding and for a potential long, because remember, it was at a high of $5 just a little bit earlier. So that's where I was trying to see if there's support, if there's big buyers coming in. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, I got in after I started seeing volume coming in around this area, right? It's trading above the daily average at the time, above average volume. So that's what got me interested in longing. And I was risking the 350s area. So I sold some when it popped to $4 just to pay myself. And at the market open, I wanted to pay myself a little bit more, because for me, I was anticipating this to pop right away to $5, which it did later. But I was anticipating this giant squeeze, this giant pop, because it's a low float stock of 3 million shares float. I was anticipating this early on. So when I didn't get what I was hoping and planning for, I want to pay myself even more. So I scaled out even more here. But still, at the end of the day, I'm still risking the 350s area. So I still have a very tiny size left with a stop below 350s. So I still have a little bit left, and this is where I got really interested in watching the tape. So it dumped, yes, but it never broke the pre-market low. And every time it dipped down to 370s, 369s area, someone was buying the dips on these washes. So you can see these are 3-minute charts. It was holding really well. It never broke down. Even after when this popped back up to pre-market highs, or not highs, but to the open, and it dumped right away, it still held. Usually these kind of action, so when this popped up to 430s and immediately rejected, usually this kind of action will be followed by a giant panic wash down to pre-market lows, right? That's what usually this kind of price action indicates, that there's huge sellers coming in to spook everyone out and to drive the price down. But this isn't a panic. It still held ridiculously well. So this is where I was thinking, okay, so they put on big sellers to spook the buyers to get the price to dip a little bit lower and for them to buy lower. So that's what I was thinking. And in reality, I should have acted on that thesis and bought a little bit more instead of just keeping the tiny size I had from pre-market, but I didn't do it. So that's a lesson for me as well. And it just squeezed after they started soaking the 370s, the 380s, and it just kind of took off to a high of $5, and I was okay, I should probably lock the tiny bit of shares left I had. And I still didn't catch the top. It popped to 550. So this one is straight from the watch list from last night, which I posted as an IG story for everyone to see. I don't know if you guys checked it out. I was saying that the thinking was that I saw a huge sell-off on day 2 and day 3, really extended sell-off on the daily chart, and I want to see volume coming in early on, around 750, 725s area, for it to pop back up to 9s. I obviously didn't think it would go to 11s. I was being conservative. I just want to see volume coming in to prove that yes, today is a possible rebound day, which it did. A lot of volume came in, 200,000 shares. That's enough to light this small cap, low float stock up. So I got in on the dips. And like I said in the watch list, I don't want to outstay when I welcome. So I sold the majority here and here, locked in a decent 40 cents gain. Well, this one probably not 10 cents, but 40 cents gain with this trade. But I still had a tiny bit left, right? I was hoping, but I still didn't get it. I need to work on adding. That's the thing. On my long games, I'm really good at adding on my short trades, but on the long trades, I'm not good at adding. I need to work on that. So that's what I need to work on as a trader. But the ad would have been here. did below VWAP, but it popped above it with high trading volume, right? 160,000 shares. So this would have been the place to add, but I didn't add to here. This became a scalp, but I still have a bit of shares left from here, and added a little bit more here, and I was selling into the pops towards 1050s. It ended up going to 11s. I didn't catch the top, but I feel like I got a really good chunk from the scalp and this first trade together here. So that was a good long game. Again, with these rebound plays, you don't want to outstay your welcome, because remember, a lot of bag holders from the teens all the way to the 20s, right? So I had no hope for this to really pop all the way back up to $16. That doesn't happen that often. Sometimes it does, but I didn't have any hope for this one because this was really weak. So the next trade on this brokerage anyways was Netflix. So this one, they gapped up overnight due to earnings. It was really curious because with Netflix earnings and with all these subscription services like Netflix, Roku, you know, the key in their earnings report is their subscriber number. So their subscriber number actually decreased, yet it still gapped up overnight, right? It gapped up from 285 to a high of 315s. So it never provided a good pop entry for me to enter. So it kind of just dumped from 308 down to 389. No pops for me to go in short. You could say I could short this and short this, but that's not enough of a pop towards VWAP for me to feel like, you know, there's a trade there safely, you know. So I didn't get short until this area, 301 area right here. There's also daily resistance. So that's what I was risking off here. I was thinking that, okay, it's probably going to retrace back to VWAP, and I want to see it fail VWAP and then sell off for the rest of the day. Which you can see I'm not that patient of a trader, and I really need to work on my patience. But I feel like this was a good entry. And that's it on this trade. I had another half a size share short. Remember, I saw it pop towards 530s. I was trying to get filled there, and then I got up there. And this volume kind of spooked me out a little bit, so I was trying to wait for a confirmation that this was the top. So I shorted here on both my brokers, shorted here, and I covered into the wash. It's near the end of the day. I don't want to get grinded up into power hour, so I was really conservative with my covers. Shorted 505, sorry, covered at the wash at 487. So that was a nice trade at the end of the day. And it's the same thing here. Shorted, it's a same exact trade. Shorted here at $5, covered some and covered some. So that's the trades on today. It's Friday. Happy to be ending the week pretty well. But of course, as usual, let's start with the loser on the day first. BNGO. So this is already day 3. I was trying to short it because this was the run on day 1 and day 2 sell off. I was thinking it's gonna pop towards the resistance from the day before and then sell off. But it's just holding the VWAP really well, and the volume is really robust. If you can see, the buying volume is comparable to day 1. So that's why I had to cut it. Shorted the pop here, and I was looking to add in the 230s and added here. But it was just, I see the volume and it was just trading really, really strong. So I cut it here. And after I see it slam down to VWAP, I was thinking, okay, maybe that was the top. And I was shorting right here again. And then it reclaimed VWAP really quick, so I just cut it. So loser on the day. I'm done with this. It's just kind of grinding now. Like, it tried to break out 3 times already, and each time it tried in the 230 to 240s area, someone just comes in and slam it down right here once, twice, and 3rd time. But it's still above VWAP, so I have no idea what's gonna happen now. But all I know is I'm out. I'm done fighting this. So this is a red trade on the day. The other two, CTRM was also short, but this one's green. But I'm also really frustrated because, so I shorted here, and I was looking to add a previous day close, but I shorted around 380s, added down here, and added here at 369 when I see that it was really weak. And when it slammed down, when it washed down, I didn't get to cover. It just ticked up really quick. I missed my cover. So that was really frustrating. And it popped above VWAP and it was just kind of grinding, so I covered everything here, and now it's coming back down again, but I'm out of shares. So it's a nice small wing on the day. Next one, HEPA. Yesterday it was a pump, got pumped up. It was easy to borrow here, got pumped up, and then just slammed down everyone here. So I was thinking the bag holders are gonna look to unwind on any pop, and it didn't pop as high as I wanted to. Same setup as CTRM, pump stock from yesterday. Shorted here, and I covered too early, I know. And then it slammed down to 310s. Basically missed 20 cents, but I was short here, I covered everything here. Didn't get to full size again because it didn't pop as high as I wanted to. But it's still a nice little scalp trade, I guess. But the bigger winner on the day was GIL. So I love playing these kind of mid cap, large cap, like gap ups and gap downs because they give me a lot of range. So this one was trading at $35 at the close yesterday, and it gapped down to $23. So that's a 10-point gap down overnight because of they cut guidance and got some downgrades. So those are fundamental news, yes, but a 12-point gap down overnight. A lot of times the stock bounces first before an eventual sell-off, which it's probably going to start doing soon. It has support at $23 on the daily chart, and I was looking for a bounce, and I can see it started to hold pre-market about 30 minutes before the close. So that's when I see, okay, yeah, there's definitely interest of buying at $23 here. So I was looking to long the $23 area if it dips down at the market open. And if 23 fails, and if this pre-market level fails, then that's my risk, right? I have to get out. So I got long when I see robust volume coming in at the open, got long, and when the volume was steady, I added to full size. Sold some at the pop just to pay myself, sold some here, and some more here. In hindsight, I wish I didn't sell this much right away. It's just like, it's Friday, I want to be nimble with my price targets. Sold some more here, as you can see. And at this point, it's clear that, it's really strong because it's breaking the pre-market highs. I was looking for a dip towards this level to add, also a VWAP. And then we got a dip and add I wanted to. And I was also focusing on the shorts on my other brokerage account. So I just let the last piece, 1/4 piece, ride out, and I had set a stop to this area. So if it breaks VWAP and it slammed down to $25, I would have gotten taken out. But it would still be green because my average was 23.80s. So the stock never got hit, and then it hit 27.60s. I took another half out. So by this point, I was at 1/8 size left. And I was trying to see if it can push to $29 and $30 whole dollar psychological mark. It hasn't done it yet, and it's just kind of consolidating around $28. So I just kind of took it all. So very nice way to end the week green. As usual, if you like this video and if these kind of recaps help you at all, let me know in the comments below. And remember to always destroy the like button. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time.